Hey everybody, this is going to be a really short video. Today is today. Happy Sunday to everybody. I don't know when I might be able to be back again. Outside kind of scarfing somebody's Wi-Fi at the moment. I don't think they'll get mad. I actually know them. I'm not in the RV. I'm not going to exactly say where I am or whatever, but I am stranded right now. I am enough gas in the RV to make it to a gas station, and I've got to get moved before 10 a.m. tomorrow. Hey, Pie. I'm a little, I don't know what the word is. Feeling some type of way, I guess. Where I'm at because I was supposed to do some day labor. So I followed the directions, and came. Didn't get notification until well after 20 minutes of being there, and 10 minutes after check-in time, that they had postponed the day labor because of the temperatures. The contractor had postponed it until further notice. If I had waited until I got that notification, I would have gotten fired because I would have been late. You know, it's weird. They expect you, like if you're on a job, a lot of places want 2 weeks to 30 days to 6 months notice before you separate, right? When do they ever give you notice? By gosh, if they terminate you, you don't know. Most of the time they let you work the whole shift. And then at the end of the shift, pull you in and tell you, am I crazy or am I crazy? The thing with the day labor is we would have finished today around 3:45. And my pay would have been available by 4:45, and I would have been able to put gas in. I went to the gas station, waited till it's on my card, been able to put gas in, and buy the few little groceries that I needed. That was the plan, based on what I was getting paid an hour and how many hours we're working. And so far, it's played out. It may only end up being 3 days a week. Positive note. The 11 applications I put in yesterday, I actually got a call back today. Have an interview Tuesday. I have 2 on Tuesday, actually. And I have an appointment Wednesday at the temp service, which is the day labor. I mean, I didn't tell, and I'm not going to tell the name, but it's a temp service. You just get paid daily. Thank you. You get paid daily for the day labor at the end of the business day, whatever you made. But it is a temp agency as well. It's not based around my area. It's based out of Charlotte. And I just know it because I've worked for them in the past. I did work on the military base in Fayetteville as a civilian. And because you have to pass a rigorous criminal background check. So again, let me tell you, people that want to say you're a felon, you're this, you have that. It's not possible. And that is within the past 12 years that I worked on a military base as a civilian. You are held to way higher standards than what somebody that's actually in the service is held to. Happy Sunday. Hello to you too. Wow. To put something like that on somebody saying you're not a good person. Thank you to whichever of my mods hit that, or to YouTube if you got it. That was pretty weird and out left field comment. But anyway, I'm telling you about it because a lot of people might not know that there are temp services that do day labor. And what I'm trying to do is do the day labor until I find a better job. You know, through the temp agency or wherever. Um, most likely Wednesday, I would say. Now how do I say this? Some of the temp agencies do it different. I know the one I'm going to um does hospital jobs. Like somebody's taking a leave of absence for a surgery or to have a baby or whatever, they do temp replacements there. Like at nursing homes, group homes, and hospitals. Being the fact that I was certified for 24 and a half years, and I just let my certification lapse, I didn't lose it. I could challenge the state board and be certified within 6 weeks again. Also, I have 19 and a half years on the job experience in various different settings. I've done geriatric, I've done developmentally disabled, and that's what I'm trying to do again. Um, I have 27 years on the job experience in a combination of retail and restaurant. Mainly restaurant. I've done fast food all the way to full service. I have an interview Thursday for a restaurant job. I'm not giving up. I intend to have a job before I get my first unemployment payment. You know, that's my goal. And I'm not giving up. I don't count the day labor as a job. That is a temporary situation that is a mean to an end, a way to survive. I mean, there's been some days that, and we got 2.5 hours after taxes and everything else. I got less than $20, which is still wonderful. Don't take that wrong. But driving the RV, I probably used $30 in gas to get there. Minimum wage, a lot of people don't realize. Part-time, I believe, is $7.25 or $7.35 an hour. It's one of the two. You're considered part-time, and they will put you part-time if possible. And full-time is $7.50. I'm in the mountain areas of North Carolina. I'm not going to get more specific than that. Not because of you personally. Please do not take it that way. Other people, lurkers, trolls that don't comment. I've experienced it in the past week. People literally told me they had food called in. I went somewhere. They literally set me up to, during a live stream, to be ridiculed and thrown out of a restaurant. So they made phone calls. They told the people at the restaurant that I was a convicted PDF file and that that's why I lived in an RV and didn't have contact with my family. I can't have contact and family that's deceased. It just is what it is. I have one child and one grandchild, and the child I have's twin brother passed away. It's coming up on February 20th will be the anniversary of his passing from brain cancer. And the other child, the surviving twin, is having some major medical issues right now, which makes it difficult for her to be able to help me in any way. I don't want to discuss it for respect of her privacy and her child's privacy. But our family does need your prayers for that, if you would. And I'm trying to read them. The purple tag I don't think means anything. I'm not sure what it means. Well, thank you for that. Dissertation about eating feces. Something's wrong with you. Who studies that and why? I am calm. Wow. Just know that I do have mods, and when you make comments that are left of center like some of those, you will be tagged. Whoever made the comment that said dog's ass, you got tagged by YouTube. That didn't even have nothing to do with us at all. See it there. Okay. I'm confused, but whatever. Top fan. Okay, cool. Hey, Scuba. The iceberg, ice whatever person. Something wrong with you. Hey, Maid and Natalie, 1967. Scuba. That can't be the regular Scuba Diva saying that. Why would you ask somebody that? And yes, your comment will be hidden. Thank you for the other mod already handling it. Actually, I'm trying, if I hadn't worked today, I had been invited to a friend's church and was trying to go there today or be at the bus stop pickup, but this guy's situation is preventing me from anything. I don't know what I'm gonna do right now. Anyway, if you are somebody that wants to work and is trying to work right now, and you are over the age of 50, it seems like it's nearly impossible to get a job, you know? No, that's not my thing, not never. Weird. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here. I'm going to tell y'all that. I would seriously ask those of you that don't know the Lord to please think about, give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, there it went. I lost Wi-Fi. I want people to please think about considering opening your heart up and your mind. The things that I see going on in this world today, it's not good. And remember, if you believe on the other end, if you're worshiping Satan, you have to believe in God. They can't be one without the other. Amen on that one. Amen on that one. I also wanted to say, if you guys are following this case where the morning show anchor lady, co-anchor, her mother was kidnapped, everybody's coming down on Ashley Bannon. I don't think she's wrong, you guys. I don't think that lady ever made it home that night. And I think the police know it. And I think their actions now are showing that they know it. on real serious note. Hello, bucket list. And thank you for the kind thoughts and words, Miss Shirley. I don't know what a pink tag is. I've never seen those before. I know the purple tags, you got a crown and a number beside them. But I think it's going to come out that there was an argument or an accident, and people act and react differently out of fear and anger. Yes, I do know that pie. I believe that something happened at the one daughter's house. There was an argument or an accident and a knee-jerk reaction that can't be undone. And I think that the person writing these letters, emails that they're calling them, which they're not neither one. There's a tidbit I got for you that's not being widely reported, but I've confirmed it. They're not sending a typical email, and there's a reason that it went into TMZ. There's a reason that it went in to local news stations. They have anonymous tip lines for stories. Like, say you know that somebody in the school system is committing embezzlement or trafficking or something. You're supposed to be able to go into that tip line and give them as much information as possible about the story without giving up your personal information, like who you are and stuff. And they have it set up in such a way that whoever's giving the tip has complete anonymity through their website. That's how the ransom notes are being sent. That's the two that they're really looking at. The one was an email, and they already arrested the dude, got him up before a judge and everything, honey. But the other two, the one TMZ, and I think it's KOLD is the news station. Those two came in through tip lines and gave very specific answers. Hold on, I've got to text this person back. Okay. I'm not crying, boo-boo. I was very shocked because I thought that was Scuba Diva sending me that weirdo question, and it just kind of threw me off. Can everybody hear me? Am I back? It has been confirmed. TMZ confirmed it and explained it, broke it down, and then they took the video down. I think the FBI had something to do with that. I think that possibly the local authorities might be too close. It's a small town. I think there's interpersonal and personal relationships that are interfering with them looking blindly at the case, and that's why the FBI has come in and over, and is directing. It's not the resources; it's the lack of being able to not. Trying to think of the word. To not, I can't think of the word. To not be biased. To not have a predisposed bias, I guess. And there is an awful strong correlation between Savannah's name being in the Bernstein 3 million file drop and doing an interview with one of the women that he used as a girlfriend slash trafficker slash madam type thing. And whoever Bernstein wrote that email to that's blacked out. What's weird is that interview never came out. She did the interview. It was never aired. And then on top of it, you have the ex-president and his wife that were vehemently with attorneys fighting, even under subpoena, to appear before Congress. And yet, 48 hours after Miss Nancy comes up missing, they agree to testify. I'm side-eyeing. I can't help it. I can't help but look sideways at that. Anybody would right now. Given everything that's come out in those files, good gravy. Every conspiracy theorist in the world has been proven right. I mean, it even talks about giants. And listen, here's the thing. It ain't about what's real or what's false. See, some people are looking, and I don't mean as far as the tips themselves go. Like, somebody was talking and side-eyeing about Candace Owens and talking about the Hillary Clinton old emails and Gilgamesh's tomb and stuff. It doesn't matter if there really ever was a Gilgamesh. Doesn't matter if that's real or true. What matters is if the persons involved in looking for it and talking about looking for it believe it's true. See, this is what some people miss. Whether it's true or false doesn't change the fact that this person who is a billionaire believes it to be true and has the resources to mobilize people in whatever way they want to find something or to be active towards something. It ain't necessarily that the tips about the specific individuals are true. You could insert any name. Bernstein might have had a party on the island and had 20 people there and changed their faces through AI to look like persons they weren't or not. But there were 20 people there that participated in using and abusing individuals from that island. And what's even weirder is when we identify children that were there because their parents worked there, lived there, or they were there and not considered victims. They are prominent for no reason in social media and the entertainment industry. Prime example. Do you guys remember the Island Boys? Them two little weird kids that had tattoos and the hair that looked like a bunch of pickles sticking off their head. And they came prominent during the Olympics. I remember Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart doing like their little halftime show on the Olympics. And they showed the two kids that went viral. They went viral multiple times. They're brothers. I don't know about twins. And don't ask me their names because I don't know it. But they were in a pool and singing that song that I can't sing, but the basic chorus was, "I'm an island boy," like it was stuck in everybody's head. There has been picture proof that has came out within the last 72 hours, and one of the two brothers has made a statement through TikTok and Instagram video on his account, certified account, that yes, that is him and his brother in the picture with Jeffrey Bernstein. Y'all know what I mean, wink, wink. That is him and his brother. They did live on the island. That's the Island Boys that they're talking about. And where'd they live? On the coast of Florida. Otherwise, I want to say Miami, but I don't want to put a bad stain on it. but I know it was Florida. The same states keep coming up. And I'm gonna come full circle for you guys right here. Because I tried for 2 days and it said 14 hours is left to do an upload on a dissertation, is what I'm calling it. A statement, whatever. I wrote and tried to post since Summer's birthday. I thought for the longest time that it couldn't be international or national, trafficking that she was sold into. But now I'm second guessing myself on that one. Just because everything that's come out in those files. And Miss D showed, y'all just block them. Let me try. I'll get it. Hold on. Do timeout for 24 hours because usually that will stop them from being able to create another profile and come back, I found out. Hey, antique little girl. Just FYI, though, where I was going with that is Miss D, and I really worry about her. You guys hype her videos, give her thumbs up, show her love, because she made some connections to land sales that started a spiral for me that has been hard to come out of. I know people don't believe me, and that's fine. It doesn't change reality, you know? Thank you, Lloyd, for your $10. I appreciate that. Just to make it clear, I can't get more than that $10 on Cash App. So if anybody wants to donate to the channel, please do it through PayPal, Chime, or Venmo. Because it'll be locked up and I won't be able to get it, I'm at your mama's truck stop. Tot Boy. Your name is really there. Tot Boy. Anyway, the connections that Miss D made through land sales directly after Summer's disappearance are some of the connections that I started making. Those connections have ties to, I'm trying to think how I can say it without saying it, to the Advice Lords of London. The Advice Lords of London. I don't know if anybody understands that, but that area too of Tennessee has proven to be a hotbed for tater tot traffic lights of humans, tot humans, tadpole humans. Look it up. It's two major interstate highways intersect right near there. You've got 40 that runs east to west across the U.S. And then you've got 93 that runs from Florida all the way up to Canada. What's the matter, Miss Antique Little Girl? You got a question. I can't tell what that is before the question mark. I personally believe that for quite a while, if not still, that Summer was alive. Hey, Miss Carrie. Also, I want to say this. I don't know why it was just told one time, and if the sheriff's department, the FBI, card team, whoever, told them not to report it again and talk about it. Does y'all realize what brought them to Van Hill? It was the red truck. It was sold the year after, is what I understood it. They said 2022, it was sold. That red truck was found, and the previous owner's address traced back to that Van Hill property. And it was not the older man, it was the Randy guy. That's my understanding. That's my opinion. The advice, Lords of London. Think about a large gang of people. Can somebody tell her in the chat if y'all got it, who the advice Lords of London are? Well, thank you. You're beautiful as well. And hi. Wow, I didn't know that 81 and 40 intersected. I knew 93 did. And the Knoxville area, that's a rug hotbed and prostitution. That's interesting. Sorry, that interstate intersection really kind of got my brain to thinking. I don't believe Summer's the only one. I just don't. I don't think it's the first time that her parents have been involved in something. And I do believe, a highway, okay. Okay, not sure what that means, Marmar, but okay. Somebody knew what they were doing. You don't have at-home unrecorded births of children. I mean, not in today's day and age. Why would you want to do that? Well, nobody can prove what age they were. And when it's time for them to have their shots and go to school, if you intended to do something nefarious, there would be no record, therefore no ability for you to be charged. Lots of things go through my brain. I don't feel like somebody that said they took multiple trips back and forth to Mexico, somebody that certain statements stick in your brain. You know, I always thought something was going to happen to her. I always told Candace to keep an eye on her. I always thought something was going to happen. And certain statements that were made in the first interview and actions and reactions, especially early on in her case, made me feel, gut instinct feel, that they had an inkling that something was coming, something was going to happen to them, that they owed someone money or something, and that there was going to be retribution. And they felt like that retribution came when she came up missing. And that they knew exactly who it was. Like maybe you owe Sal from Gotta Find Sal money. And you know Sal runs with Ben and Randy and George. You might not know which of the four of them did it, but you know in your gut, in your heart of hearts, that it's one of the four of them. That's what I feel like. Not the Wells by themselves, no. But if they traded, sold, or say made an agreement, let's say at the time when they had all this money, when they got the car, when Don had money in the bank and not from work, it was more than he could have earned. When they had money like that and they were spending it, and I think that money correlates with the Utah trip and the trip from New York. It's around that time frame when Don came back from Utah. I think they made an agreement. Whether they got fronted a large amount of product and had to pay up and defaulted on that, and then agreed that by a certain time that they would either pay the money or they could take one of the children. I think something like that was done. That's not the Wells doing it, because they couldn't tell you where she's at right now. See, it all depends, too, on how the lie detector questions were posed. If they asked them, do you know where Summer is right now? Well, they probably don't. They didn't say, do you know who she was last seen with? Do you know where she was last at? Was the last place you saw her this place? See, we don't know. And that depends. Because someone without a conscience, a lie detector test ain't no good on them. Amen to that one. I'm not saying it's a local. See, y'all were thinking too small fry. I agree with you on that one, on the Hill and Bernard knowing. I'm not thinking way out in the weeds at all. At all. At all. I think there is someone locally. I think it's someone with a lot of money and power and influence. And I think fear can be a very motivational factor. You got somebody that puts themselves and their benefit and livelihood above all else. I mean, they don't even realize they do it. Am I really thinking too far out there? How many people did they play? Didn't they even get over on the behavior panel? And I don't think it's Dawn is the brains of the situation. Where is Grandma, by the way? What happened to her? Where'd she go to? Lickety split. So I can tell she came back, but you could throw fire water at her for how quick she disappeared. Where's she at? Am I thinking too far out in the weeds? So do y'all think I'm thinking too far out in the weeds to say that Sure did. Thank you for that one. No, I don't know nothing about Angry Bird Space. Sorry. Candyman. Don, even Fred said Don came straight to his house. Y'all ever seen the show Breaking Bad? Anybody? I think Fred is the professor. Fred was either the cook or knew where the cook was. Imagine Fred telling us when he was in jail, when he was talking to Ziggy on the recorded call, that they told him he was under suspicion for 2 unalivings, and neither one of them was Summers. Let that sink in. We're not talking about the one that he had already went to court years back, and it was self-defense. And if y'all remember, when Ryan got sent to them people's house, and that woman sitting out there talking to Ryan, it was all smiles and giggles, petting the dog, everything was cool, till Ryan said Fred's name. And as soon as he said Fred's name, watch that woman's face and how quickly she got ghost. Oh, Fred was more than a user. Even if he was just an addict, he was an addict that knew where to find it and that apparently people were afraid of. You can't tell me people did not have fear of him. I mean, he always sat there and told us the guy's looking at his boat, got over, I can't remember if it's $5,000 or $8,000 in his pocket, and him and his friend followed him without him asking them to for his safety and benefit. Who believes that? Who believes that? And that is a possibility, that there was an accident and that they hit. But then that puts Don and Candace and Grandis at keeping the other kids quiet, not letting nobody know ever what happened. And that part I can't see. That's the part that's hard for me. I believe that. I believe that speak the truth. I have seen some UK television, but it's been when I was watching PBS. Right. That part. Them kids is not going to remain quiet for this long. That's the part. It has to be something that happened that the other children knew nothing about. Do I think that the kids told about drug use and partying and who was there and who wasn't? Absolutely. Do I stand by the fact that Andy Bernard would not have been put in the math registry for having Mary Jane plants? Absolutely. Absolutely. And if he was, then Andy, you need to get a lawyer and you need to sue the state of Tennessee because they put you in the math registry as a user and seller for that bust. So you need to sue them. Real talk. How you doing? OJ Caden off. Really? Let's do some facts here. You ever hear the saying the lady doth protest too much? You ever hear that sometimes people act like sworn enemies to throw you off. Fred and Andy's supposed to hate each other. But boy, if their hate don't work together for the benefit of both of them. Same as it does for Jody. Now, I believe she was a scorned woman. I 1,000,000% believe that. But to be that scorned, you got a lot of love too. And you got babies by them. Got you. That's what I already heard. You're just confirming what I was told. You know, the Bernstein files come out about the pizza thing. You know, lasagna gate, everybody calls it instead of the pizza thing. I remember when Mr. Bernard did a live and I called in and asked him a question about working at the pizza parlor with somebody who is involved with people like that. I even have the name and had the name then. He didn't deny it. He was a pizza delivery boy. You know, we had a similar type pizza joint. The dad and the son that was running it ended up doing fed time. You called and ordered a certain kind of pizza, you got a special delivery man. Your pizza cost you about $100. Bingo. She come right back for more. Even if he's with somebody else, is there one person out there that believes that that woman still don't love him? And there's nothing wrong with it. Let me say that. I'm not downing her for it. It's human nature. I know what you're talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Similar situation. Fred also worked for that pizza parlor. Didn't know that. I think the Nancy Guthrie, what gets me is both videos that have had all three children. The first one had direct quotes down to movements and facial gestures from a specific part of Silence of the Lambs. And then the second one had a very obscure TV show reference. Same scenario, a scene acted out. Who are they trying to get that message to? And it's every time that mama's being discussed, specific things. I think it's very interesting, the wording of the last video too, where Savannah spoke. She didn't say our mom is very important to us. We want her back. She said, this is very important to us. We want that back. Why is it this and that? Is it not mom? Now, is it some sort of family heirloom? Mom's wedding rings? You know, something of that nature? I heard 6 million was the Bitcoin ask. I do believe that it's being played up for a distraction, considering the president has now commented on it. But I also believe 1,000,000%, I'm going to tell y'all this. I believe 1,000,000% that it's going to come out. She Ubered to their house. Why did she not Uber home? The Uber driver has been spoken to. So, the last confirmation outside of the family of her being seen as that Uber driver. Why did she not Uber home? And I don't want to sound like a terrible person, but if something happened in that house, stroke, heart attack, because of an argument, let me put a little picture here. There's some kind of argument going on for whatever reason. I don't know the reason. but there's a family argument going on. She's 84. She has heart problems. She gets stressed out and upset and maybe yelling during the argument, trip and fall, or have a heart attack or stroke. You're afraid of the repercussions and accusations and feelings of the family, and you take an action that you can't undo. Wow, hoodwinky. Anyway, yeah, I've already spoken about that. Rewind. I spoke about that. Now, the interview never aired, but it's in the files and in the emails. Anyway, then skip to what Ashley Banfield is saying about top suspects. Then let's go to the video from the 2 gas stations, specifically the Circle K. So, a family member, now they're saying in the press conference, a family member drove Nancy home, right? They know what time frame they're looking at because of the alert on the garage door opening and closing at like 9:58 p.m. So to go from Annie's house to her mama's house, you have to pass by that cameras at that intersection. There's also intersection cameras. So you stay off crack, bitch. Your mama got crack up her ass. I ain't never smoked no crack. You want hair, toenails, what? Your mama a crackhead. Anyway. You have to go through that intersection to get from Annie's house to her mom's house, okay? So, imagine you have the family member that took her home going through that intersection at that time and coming back at that time on video. But the video shows that nobody but them was in the car. Then they say, oh, well, we come and got her car and then took her, right? Would that explain the 2 cars? There's been 2 cars taken into evidence. The first car was her daughter and husband's vehicle, allegedly. Oh, my phone's about to die. The second car was Nancy's car itself. Why? Why first the daughter and husband's car and not Nancy's car? Why their car first? Because that was the last car she was supposed to be in, right? Protocol. Guys, my phone is going to die, so I'm going to have to end the live. I'll make sure in the description I put my time. If anybody can help, I really need, Lloyd sent me $10. I really need at least 10 more to put in the gas tank to get anywhere so I can make money. If anybody would help me, it'd be greatly appreciated. Lloyd, I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful to anybody that has helped before. What I think was special about it is that her daughter is a news anchor off the gate. And some of the past interviews her daughter's done. No, I didn't. If you rewind and watch the beginning, I tell you why I'm here, why I'm asking for gas. I'm stranded. I have enough gas to make it to a closest gas station, and that's it. And in a Chevy 454 1995 model, $10 ain't going to get me nowhere, honestly. I don't have tiny restricted pupils. You just can't see well. I don't know. But they're not tiny restricted. Probably because the way I'm looking down the phone, I don't know how to look normal to show you my eyeballs on the camera. Sorry. I'm sitting in a car that's got some light shining through it and some not. It's not my car. I'm getting ready to get out of it. I went to get a pillow and a blanket. out of the RV where I've got it sitting on the side of the road praying it doesn't get towed. Yeah, I smoke a cigarette every 13 seconds. Yeah. I want to blow my nose, but I don't want to do it on camera because I get talked about. And my phone is really about to die. Can't see percentage. Still don't see a percentage. Oh, 19% battery saver's trying to turn on. Does anybody have any questions about the topics that I can answer real quick before I end the live, before my phone dies? Peace, love, and light. Anybody that watches this, if you can help me, please. I don't want to lose the RV. I'm really scared. PayPal, Venmo, Chime, anything is helpful. Peace, love, and light.